Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise?
He's got a tooth in the middle of his face.
He's not running. Sorry, guys. We're live. Hello, everybody.
I'm in love.
The pre-chat conversation started
Hey, we're
talking about Donald Trump, and things got scary. Welcome to the Daytripper Photo Show, everybody. This is episode number 161. Tonight we are doing our photo review for the photo challenge, Furry Friends. Furry family or furry friends? I'm a little confused. I thought I said furry friends, but there's been a lot of furry family being posted, and Phil thought it was furry family. So
I think it's because I've been calling it that for the last 3 weeks.
So
accidentally.
They both work though, and there were lots of photos submitted, and it's awesome. So thank you everybody who has submitted photos for the photo challenge, and we're gonna get to them in just a few seconds. But first, hello Sheila, how you doing? Thank you for watching. Just to remind everybody that the Q&A is open. If you want to contribute to this show and talk about what you think about the photos that were submitted, then use the Q&A. It's all part of the Hangout. If you hover your mouse over the window, along the left side, this thing will pop up. One of them says Q&A. Click on it, and on the right side, you'll be able to chat away to us and let us know what you think. There's been some crazy things. Before we get into too much of the review, I don't know if everybody's heard about the Kelby shakeup. Did you guys hear about
what
this?
happened?
Bad things happened, actually. But I got to take a drink of water.
Fired.
So, Gabriel, talk for a quick second. I got to take a sip of water.
Everybody's fired. Well, not everybody, but he let go of RC and a bunch of other people I don't know. But pretty much the entire training crew?
The Photoshop side.
The Photoshop side.
training, yeah. I'm sure there'll be announcements or something. I know I got an email that was forwarded to me, but I don't know if I should put it out or whatever. But bottom line is, yeah, bad news. RC Concepcion, one of the coolest educators I've ever learned from, was one of the guys that was let go. I did a Toronto training with him a while back, and very, very awesome educator. Like, guys knows everything, and he's really great at getting his point across. So it's pretty crazy when you see a big company like Kelby Live have to do major cuts. It's kind of a sign of the times a little bit.
Well, why were there cuts? Was it they weren't having the revenue they were looking for? Was it like an an internal dispute?
No, it was economy. It was lack of sales. I mean, really, when you have, I know it's weird.
But I guess, we were talking last week about at least I'm pretty sure it was last week, about the slow decline of, the point-and-shoot side of things, see how everything is kind of going down. We're seeing camera sales go down, companies start cutting costs. It kind of goes hand in hand with that, and with the rise of
photography has never been more popular.
It has, it's never been more popular, it's never been easier. Yet,
and not more has been given away for free ever before either. I mean, there's we do a show here where we educate it the best we can, and this is a free show, and there's a lot of people who do free day trips and very inexpensive sessions, and there's so much readily available knowledge these days. Do people want to commit to a monthly subscription of education and training? Or is the content not good enough, or whatever? We're going to talk more about this on the Banter Show. Of course.
Okay, and we definitely should save a lot of it for that, because I'm actually we can get into a lot of discussions on ideas and opinions.
We really can, and it's kind of scary for me as the owner of Daytripper Photo. Is that going to impact how we educate? And we're always trying to find new ways to get the word out and to educate, and while still keep it a viable business, of course. But I don't know. It's tough to say what's going to happen in the future. But just thought I'd mention it.
I don't know if I'd worry too much on your side of things.
It's a very different business structure.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's that you don't do similar things, but it's that everything's more, I think, direct here. It's more streamlined. Whereas the Kelby side of things, like Kelby Live, Kelby Learning, like Henry's had online Kelby-based courses,
and that's the thing. The people that created all of that content, most of those people that created that content for Henry's are now gone.
Yeah, but that's the problem when you create content that is single-use and consumable. Because once you create it, what's the use of you? But I will save this entire squirrel for the
and we will definitely get into it. But there's other cool news that I want to talk about. Everybody who watches this show has to remember our good friend Navi Noom. Navi is one of the most talented wedding photographers I've ever met. She's just a great personality, and she does great work. And she has this amazing giveaway. Gabe, you know about this as well as I do, I think.
Yes, I know about it too. I wish it was last year because, you know.
You just got married, yeah.
I used her. I trusted her ability that much that I personally used her.
Oh, there you go.
Another vouch for services other than that.
That's a good point. Yeah, she was your shooter. But Gabe, maybe you can kind of go into it. I'm going to do a screen share of her website here, and maybe you can quickly talk about it for a quick sec.
Well, yeah, she's running a competition where you can submit your wedding details and information, and out of that, she picks one wedding, and it's a full free wedding giveaway.
A complete package valued at $3,400.
Yeah.
And it's easy to enter. Basically, you follow Navi Noom Photography on Instagram, at Navi Noom Photography. You repost the image that you see there and tag it NNP Giveaway 2016. Send an email to info@navinoom.com with your photo and share your love story and wedding plans. Include the date, location, and the event of any and any other exciting details of your big day. Bonus points for sharing this post on Facebook as well. So check out, if you have any need for a wedding photographer, check this out. Now, there's another bonus, Gabriel, that we were talking about for our wedding session.
Yeah, so I don't think we've hashed out all the details completely, but when you attend our wedding session, which is going to be in
May 29th.
May 29th, you automatically get entered into a draw. So if you are coming to the wedding session, you obviously want to learn how to shoot weddings better. And if you book a wedding, it's got a 1-year expiry date, but if you book a wedding, Navi Noom or myself will be your free second shooter for the day.
That is fantastic.
So one of us will walk around the wedding with you. We'll do all the assistant, carry your gear, everything like that. But we'll also be there to give you tips and tricks and pointers and on hand, live on the scene training.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. When we talked about that when we were at our meeting, that was one of the cool things. No, this wedding session is a full 10-hour wedding session with Navi and Gabriel leading it. It's on May 29th. We changed the date. We had it at March 13th, but we changed it. We bumped it back a little bit because we have a lot of good things planned for this. I'm working on a bunch of stuff that we can't really get too much into, but it's going to be awesome. We did the same kind of session last year on the coldest frickin' day of the year, and I locked my keys in the truck outside in the middle of Toronto in a back alley. It sucked, but the session was phenomenal, and these guys did a great job. So please, if you're interested in wedding photography and you want to get some business sense and some how to get bookings and knowledge on how to shoot and posing, we're going to have a bride and groom there, wedding dress, the whole thing. Decorations, it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be at the Gibson Center in Alliston, which is
beautiful.
I don't even know how you guys found out about this place, but as soon as I saw the website, I was like, yes, let's check it out. We took a drive over, booked it right on the spot. The place is amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really great. And this year we'll be going into, if you did it last year, there really won't be a lot of repetition this year over last year, and we're going to be going into some areas that we didn't go into last year at all in terms of editing and culling and same-day slideshows and same-day delivery and of not all the photos, but same-day delivery and just really neat tricks that can, because the problem is there's the old, my Uncle Tom has a camera, he can take the pictures, but with cameras getting better and better and better, they're not wedding photographer quality images, but they're a lot better than they were back when people were shooting with Blackberries, right? So you really anybody can pick up a Rebel and a good lens and take semi-decent photos. So you really need to not only make your photography stand out, and I know a lot of photographers that are not the best photographers in the world, but their service is incredible. They're very personable, and they get all the referrals over top of some even sometimes better photographers because they do same-day delivery, because they do a slideshow of the wedding during the reception, because they have all this other stuff. They know how to utilize the technology. available to them.
And you're getting into this at the session, which is so valuable. So valuable.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be a great wedding photographer to shoot weddings. There's a lady out here that I talk about a lot who has a Canon Rebel and a base lens and does a terrible job and gets paid to shoot weddings.
You have to play the gong song. Okay.
All of you peoples are probably better at shooting than she is.
Daytripper Photo does not endorse slamming other wedding photographers on the show. Well, even though they may deserve it. All right. Okay, we've got a lot of comments on the Q&A.
Philip are the views of him and his alone.
No, it's fine. I actually enjoyed that you slammed this person. I think it's funny, but at the same time, I like to.
It saddens me more than anything.
I get it. Gone. Okay, so Heather says, good evening. Good evening to you and Haley. And let's see who else is watching. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to a great show after a very hectic day. Christine, thank you. Thank you also for submitting. That was awesome. Sheila, hello, hello, hello. And she says she's been hired to shoot a wedding in the summer, though she's not a wedding photographer. She has sent her client Navi's offer, thinking it would be great for them. So that's cool. That's cool. That would be excellent. Thank you, Sheila, for doing that. Jennifer says she doesn't see how there could be a Furry Friends show without Dixie and Winnie. I agree. That's why I posted a photo of Dixie to the photo challenge. But there was no Winnie photo. What's up with that?
I have had a little bit of a busy week, so when Winnie heads past the office here to go to bed, I'm going to grab her and Tequila, and they're going to come say hi.
If I ever see Dixie, I will drag her in as well. She's asleep in her basket over there, I think, so I'm not going to disturb her.
Yeah. They'll make
a photo. It wasn't a furry friend, but it was a scaly friend.
Yes, it was. Actually, I loved it. I thought it was a great
photo.
It was
really cool.
I don't have a furry friend, but I have a woody friend.
There you go again. I hope you love your cat, because mine's dead.
Yeah, all my cats are dead, so thanks for bringing up the harsh memories, Brian.
That's my mission in life. Okay, so Jenny's watching. Excellent, she finally found the post. Thank you so much for watching. And Sarah's watching as well. Now, I have some bad news for some folks. We always do this photo challenge to help people make new photos, and there were some photos submitted that were shot previously.
Great photos.
Oh, outstanding pictures.
Yeah.
And we don't mean to ever degrade the value of you submitting a photo for our challenge. Like, seriously, we love it. But we can't talk about too many photos because we banter on like this for too much at the beginning of the show. We don't have time. So hopefully you'll forgive us if we don't get too much into your photo. But we will get to it a little bit. Jen Newberry says, on a wedding note, Gabe, you are not allowed to watch her on Saturday because Gabe, I guess, is helping you out on Saturday. You're going to make her all self-conscious. So.
Oh, yeah, no. I've got my 5D Mark III with my 7300, and I'll be sitting beside you the whole time going, really? You took it from that angle, eh? That's interesting. Let's see how that turns out.
So tired than poor Navi having to shoot with like Martin and myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's oh man.
Yeah, like, shooting a photographer's wedding is probably the most stressful thing you could possibly do. Navi pulled that off. So that's great. Veronique, hello. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool. So let's get to this a little bit, guys. Just to remind everybody, the survey that we issued to get help for our show, to help improve the show and our day trips, has been posted for quite a while now. I periodically go back, and there's a few new posts and so on. So don't forget, that's still buried in a, I don't know if you know how the communities hang out, the communities work, but it gets buried down low if I don't pin it to the top. And we had Mark's photo from last week, or last challenge, as the winner pinned to the top for quite a while, so things have shifted down. Excellent job again, Mark, for your photo last time. Also, please join the Daytripper Photo community on Google+. It's a lot of fun. There's been a lot of really great posts lately. The photos that are being submitted are fun and fantastic, and there's a lot of community vibe happening, and I love it. So thank you, everybody. But there's always room for more. So if you want to join our community, check it out on Google+, the Daytripper Photo. And if you like our show, click like on the YouTube channel. Some likes are always good. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
look who's here.
Oh no, hold on.
Well, hello there.
Winnie's mind talking.
Here's our girl Dixie, and she's just woken up, so she's probably gonna try and kick my ass. There she goes.
Oh, there you go.
You
see?
Yeah.
They're love nibbles.
Yeah, they're love nibbles until they're not. So
yes,
good girl Dixie. Okay, she's giving me that look. That's about time. Thank you,
The eyes
Shelley.
go a little crossed and the end is near.
Oh, no, don't make it around. Hey, Shelley, seriously. This is a live show right now. Thank you very much. That's
I
great.
love her just coming in from the side. Attack from above.
I know, right? Did you see her, too? She's like... That's what happens. All right, so Jen, I hope you're happy. Ninja Cat, exactly. And Jennifer Wolf, Jenny, thank you also for understanding about the photos thing. Okay. Anything else? I've already talked about Q&A. We're good to go. Time to get into a photo review.
Go.
Phil disappeared. So, yeah, don't know what's happening.
Do a screen share.
Yeah, why don't you do a screen share? That'd be great.
Do it. I'll do it.
You do it. Okay. So the photos this week were a lot of fun. Everybody did a great job. And we're going to talk a little bit about everything. I've got my notes pulled up. This is going to be fun. Cool. The first photo we're going to talk about is Heather's photo for Furry Friends. Her against the oh, wait, that's not Heather's Furry Friends photo. But thank you for redoing the other shot we talked about previously.
Yeah, no. Very good.
Going through the effort one more time to make that photo. Excellent stuff.
Oh, don't growl. You're trying to be friendly.
Oh, there's Winnie.
There we go. I'll get rid of my ears for a second.
You've got both of them.
Oh, boop.
Oh, the babies.
Hello.
And when they give you the look, you don't have to worry for your life either, which is great.
Grumpy, grumpies.
Okay.
Want to go to bed?
Okay. Oh, the babies.
Yeah, okay, we're done. We're done with your animal.
This is getting awkward now.
Go up
You
to
can't
bed.
hear us? Okay, it's really... I know he's still being recorded because, yeah, getting awkward.
Go up to bed. Okay.
That was great, Phil.
All right.
Okay, so that was. Thank you, Phil. Now that you have your headphone in,
Oh, you're welcome.
Got-
Sorry about that. They
got a
they
little
wanted
awkward
to get
there for a
that.
second. But, you know.
Still ill, yeah.
All right, Joe. Jen didn't know you had two dogs. What's the
Oh,
second
yeah,
dog's
I
name?
have Winnie and Tequila. So yes.
Winnie and Tequila.
Always. Yes.
Awesome. Mark, greetings, gentlemen. All of my furry
Winnie
family
and
and the
watching
Pooh.
it.
Winnie and the Pooh. Yeah, that would. Unless Tequila poos a lot, and then it's kind of a given.
Well, she kind of does.
All right, there you go. So Mark says, greetings, gentlemen. All of his furry family are watching with him. It's pretty crowded on this couch. Excellent. The way a couch should be. And Sarah, yes, she understands about the new ones. Didn't have time. Thank you. That's fine. As long as you understand and nobody's angry, because I know people can get very frustrated and stuff like that when it comes to their furry family. So here we are. This is a beautiful photo from, I believe this was Sheila's, right?
Yes.
I
Well,
think
yes.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheila.
Down here. Sheila.
So Sheila's, this is Henry James. This
Model extraordinaire.
beautiful little dog that a friend came to visit, I guess, and she brought it down to the studio and took some shots. Now, I love that. Sheila brought it down to the studio. And now what does that tell you? That tells you that she has the thought to choose a background, the thought to choose lighting, the time to take pictures, and this is a very purposeful photo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
do you
that
think?
studios are very good things for photographers to have.
Is that some sort of hint?
That is definitely a hint.
That's a hint that will be announced down the road. So anyway, go ahead, Gabriel. What else do you have to say about this?
I love, you mentioned it earlier, the choice of color and the background and that complements wonderfully the fur. Nice shiny fur, so it's got a beautiful lighting on the fur. It really lights the face up perfectly, and then everything else is a little bit darker, so it brings out the features. Good focus. The nose is a little bit blurry, but the eyes look like they're tack sharp. And then it falls off a little bit and gets a little blurry around the wispy hair.
You have new emails.
Excuse me.
Yes, my overlords.
My phone talking to me. Those of you who play Portal know that's
Gladys?
Gladys, yeah. And I may not have a new email because she tends to lie a lot.
Just like Gladys.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's funny. Some of us actually mute our phones before a show. Wow.
Yes, well, I like to do it halfway to keep you on your toes.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it's a very good picture. Good, kind of head tilted a little bit. Little good expression and very subtle yet complimentary watermark. I like that.
And Jen
you
noticed
would
this is a golden doodle. Beautiful. Yeah. And let's see, cute pups. I just want to make sure I'm going through. Okay, so Sheila says she was testing out her new softbox, Last Light softbox that she picked up from me. And I noticed that in her comments, and that's great. The softbox, the Last Light product, gives a very nice soft light, and that's one of the things I noticed in the shot is the real soft light, not nice catch light in the eyes, but not
I was gonna say really nice catch light.
No real highlights in the photo, which is because of that soft light. Now, the way I'm talking about pictures these days, I've kind of changed it up for myself now. I'm going into composition, exposure, focus, the extra 10%, and then possible tips that I could give. So my composition notes on this were I love the tilt in the head. I just think it's so cute with that little tilt. You know, it's not dead center, and the eye falls really nicely on Henry's eyes. Exposure. Now, exposure-wise, it's perfect in the left side, but the bottom right I find is just a bit dark. Now, I think that might have benefited from possibly some fill light from above, maybe a reflector on the ground or something where that light coming from above can bounce just up a little bit to give some definition in the fur of the ear on the left side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah,
I agree. I kind of like the shadow. What I might actually recommend, though, I enjoy having the shadow there. I think it's nice. It balances everything out. The one thing I don't like is there's a little bit of light in the bottom corner. So like a slight crop in would get rid of that, and it would just kind of like, I think, balance everything for my eye a little bit better.
Okay. Gabe, what do you think?
I think that you can't have light without the darkness. You know, the contrast of the dark makes the light stand out more.
That's a good point.
If you were to fill it in, then it would be maybe a little bit too evenly lit, and it wouldn't be as dramatic.
Jen actually suggests the only thing she would say is either have taken the collar off or edited it out. The red is just a bit distracting. I didn't even notice the red, maybe because I'm colorblind.
Yeah, I didn't notice until he actually pointed it out. But I do agree. I think editing it would be... It could be easy, but it could also be a lot more challenging trying to get the chin fur and the neck fur properly covered, but not blended together. I think would be kind of difficult.
I also think the collar says that the dog is loved.
Yeah.
You know, like the collar says that somebody loves me. This isn't just like I don't know, maybe that means something to me. I don't know about. That's a good comment, though. She likes the texture of the dog's fur against the smooth background. I agree. Yeah, I like the texture as well. Jennifer also said to you, Phil, she thought when you said you were getting Winnie and tequila, she thought you wanted booze.
Well, I did name them Tequila and basically Delwinnie. So.
Yeah, and also we have no plans to mention Don Komarechka's name in this show, so there's no shots or no game plan. So.
Oh, I even have my little shot glasses.
Oh, okay. Well, you were prepared. Good.
Knockoff Canon shot glasses.
Sheila says she wasn't able to tilt the softbox down at this point. Now that she now has the tilt shift adapter. Good. And it's funny, Sheila asked me if I had those adapters, and we don't have them separately. We only have them in the kits, which is weird. Actually, Veronique says she likes the red touch in the photo. It's that's neat how we all see something different. That's why I like this community conversation, how people can give us their 2 cents. But
yeah, I'm wondering if you let me just grab my editing, my visual editing tool, which is a lighter, and I'm kind of holding it up and blocking out the collar. And the collar, I don't know. Maybe spin it around so that you only see the red and not the buckle, but it does add some nice punch to it.
Yeah. Interesting, though. Good conversation, and I'm glad everybody brought it up. Christine even says maybe just a neutral colored color. It's a nice distinction between the head and body, but it's a little different when the dog just shows up and you don't have.
I was going to say, in hindsight, it's very easy, but when it shows up in your house, you're like, hey, I want to take a quick picture of this.
And it's a great photo, and I do like Gabriel's comment about the small little watermark in the bottom corner. I didn't want to just ignore what you had said there, Gabe.
No, it's small. You can read it, but it's complementary. It's not taking over the photo. It's not intrusive. Those are my favorite types of watermarks. Cool. You can still, find out, where to Google the person.
Exactly, right? Because that's really all a watermark is good for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, and great feedback. Thanks, Sheila says. I'm glad you enjoy it. Good. Thank you very much for posting. Let's go on to the next shot there, Gabe.
All right. Let's do that.
Who's the next contestant on Your Photos Up? That was very weird
Paul
for me to do,
Howard.
actually.
Come
Paul
on
Howard.
down.
Okay, so Paul Howard, this is Sadie. This is also a photo that was taken previously.
Oh,
So
Okay.
now, beautiful photo, great focus. Love the exposure and everything. Great shot, but let's not spend too much time.
Yeah, I think if we have a little bit of time at the end, we should come back to the pictures that were shot previously, because there have been some awesome pictures, and they really should, be gone into a little bit more in depth. But I think we should take a look at the ones shot kind of for this week.
Right, and I think that the comment, get back to it if we have time. Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, I know how we go.
Let's not make any false promises. As much as we want to, we tend to run out of time rather than have extra time. But yeah, it's a nice thought. Okay.
I'll just say one really quick comment. I love it's bokeh-licious, even on 5.6, because you're zoomed into 400 millimeters, so you've got a nice zoom lens there, and creates some really nice bokeh and shallow depth of field. Because you're zoomed in all the way, even though it's a relatively small aperture. All right, next.
And the lighter face and the darker everything else.
Okay, now these are Rachel's photos. Now Rachel submitted 3 photos of Charlie, and if we could talk about the oh wait a minute, more than 3. Those are 5 then. So because she submitted some before this, way down at the bottom.
Okay.
Right
here.
There you go.
Oh, okay. All
Can't
right.
forget those.
These are beautiful.
And I'm going to ask if we could talk about photo number 3.
Okay.
Yes, we may.
Because we can't get into every picture. She submitted 5 shots in total. So if everybody's cool, why don't we talk about this guy? And the reason I thought this is because this is my favorite.
I really like this picture. I like the inspiration taken from J.J. Abrams. It's just
the lens flare.
More lens flare.
No, I like this picture too. I think it's cool. Like I like that. You got the haze kind of in the background, the out of focus. It's pretty much all black and white except for the lens flare, which actually in hindsight is kind of weird. Why?
I kind of like the little catch of color it gives, though.
I kind of do too, but it's odd.
Yeah, it's not really black and white. Sheila says she so loves black and white, but I don't think it was black and white because the color of the lens flare. I don't know.
Well, that and there's color in like the leg in the bottom corner.
And his eye has color.
A little bit of color.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually black and white.
Color here.
I don't think.
I think what it is that it's a normal photo. This is my guess. It's a normal photo that was opened in Lightroom. They went to the HSL slider under saturation and pulled down the browns and just about every color except for green and blue and maybe I see a little bit of pink in here. And it muted everything because this is just white. That's just gray or whatever back there.
So I have a question about the composition, though.
Okay.
Personally, I like that the horizon leads right into Charlie's eyes.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be or not, but I like it. What do you guys think?
I think it can be good and bad. I think because it's so soft, it kind of works. I think if it was any more in focus, then it would be kind of cutting everything in half. But I think the dog is enough of the focus that the background really doesn't matter. I do, going back to composition, I do like how he's looking into the frame instead of out of the frame. I think it helps balance the picture.
I have that as well. And it's interesting, usually with bright snow in the background, that would draw your eye back. But the point you made about the shallow depth of field, it does keep your eye on Charlie. You're not going past that. The light in the top left, right corner of the photo, the kind of overexposure in that top right corner, kind of brings you right back to that side and keeps you locked in on Charlie. And I love the snow in his chin is awesome.
Yeah.
Jen says she likes one floppy ear. I agree. Totally agree with that. What do you think?
I like it. I like the square crop. I like the composition. Having the landscape go into the eye does keep you coming right back to the dog, even if it's just subconsciously, which is great. I don't like the that there's a little bit of color up here, there's a little bit of color down there, a little bit of color down there, you know, a little bit of brown in here. I would say mute out everything and then go over this area here with the black and white, the desaturation brush, and make it a little bit more consistent. And then if you're going to have just this be color, because I think this would really stand out and be more effective if there wasn't a little bit of color up here, a little bit of color down here, a little bit of color down here. But that's just my own personal
Interesting
thoughts.
thought. Very cool. Anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's move along. Let's check out the next shot. So we've talked about Sheila, Henry James.
Here's a furry friend.
Oh, hey, that's our furry friend who's traveling the road, living the life.
So we're going to go this one?
Yeah, okay, so let's first talk about Jennifer Newberry's photos that she submitted. She submitted this picture here of Toby and 3 pictures of Shadow the dog. They're all cute, but I think what we'd like to do is talk about Toby's photo.
I think so as well.
This is the one that really sticks out in my mind. It's a little bit more personal. It's I believe, her own cat. And, of course, me being a cat guy, I'm like, hello, this cat is going to kill me. This is the look I see in Dixie's eye 1 second before I am mauled. What do you think of this shot here, Phil?
You're going down, human.
I like this picture.
Yeah.
I like the super tiny depth of field of it. I like that the eyes are in focus, or at least as far as I can tell, the eyes are in focus. It's kind of interesting because the way the focus plane works, you have kind of part of the chin in focus as well, and some of the kind of the whiskers. I think it works. I do agree that someone was probably attacked afterwards, but I like it.
What do you think, Gabe?
I like thinking that somebody was attacked afterwards. that lens can only protect you for so long.
Yeah, you do feel safe behind the lens of a camera, that's for sure. And cats are the wild creatures within.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
It's a great photo. You know, many cats have many different looks, and a cat can have many different looks. And you know, I'm guessing that's an interesting facial expression that I'm guessing you probably don't see very often. Like, I know sometimes I would look at my cat and it's like, whoa, what are you thinking right now? Because you don't usually look at me like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you should know,
yeah.
Jennifer says no one was attacked. Her cats are super friendly. Her kids wrestle them. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I think it's because kids wrestled Dixie that turned her into a potential psycho freak. But I like that about her. I've gotten to know that about her, and I kind of like the fact that if a person broke into my house, Dixie would take him out before I'd have to worry about it. It's cool. All right, so anything else to add to this one, Gabe?
No, besides that, I mean, it's a great portrait. I noticed that the focus is a little bit sharper in the left eye than it is in the right, but you know, it's f1.4 at 35 millimeters, so she's pretty close. The depth of field range is going to be pretty small, and it's a good job for what it is. Now, the rule of thumb is if you're only going to have one eye in focus, have it be the one closest to the camera. And
The leading
I think that's what was done there, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually in my notes as well. You know, a very open aperture, very close proximity. You combine those two things, and the depth of field is uber shallow. And I love the point that you made too, Phil, about how the chin has focus. I think the shape of the face, the triangle of the face, staying in the frame, really is a very powerful image. I do kind of agree with Jenny's comment about maybe tone down the pink in the background.
You know, I will agree with that as well. It is a little bit distracting, especially because you have the orange cat, really nothing behind on the left or the top, but a little bit of that pink brightness in the side.
Sorry, I was just reading that Jen says Dixie the guard cat, and totally, I think she is. And Sheila says her dogs would lick an intruder to death, which I think a lot of our pets would do too.
Yeah, especially if they came with like cookies.
Oh, cookies!
Like, take what you want, just I'll eat these.
I love the exposure in this shot. I think if I were to give any tip at all, and I try and at least think of if I can give one tip, it would be to crop the photo on the right side. You see where that shadow, where the line is of the background that's blurry. Just a little to the right there. The straight line of what's in the background.
Oh, there?
Yeah, right there on the edge. If you just kind of crop that away, it keeps your eye on Toby instead of having space off to the right. That's my thought. That's the only thing I can think to possibly add to as a tip. And either way, it's a great photo. There's Dixie. Oh, she's so cute. Sorry. And Sarah, yes, love the expression. I agree.
You with.
Are you frozen?
Maybe.
Here you go.
Moving.
Yeah. He's got that super high-speed internet thing, doesn't he?
He's supposed to.
He's kind of an IT guy, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So our IT guy is frozen. Probably crashed. So,
Probably.
Phil, why don't you jump on in there and start a screen share up?
Absolutely.
Although I do enjoy looking at Dixie sitting there frozen.
Well, she has a good. What's happening?
Rebooting.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what was making noise on my computer.
Yeah, Gabe got
so
the blue
let me-
screen of death, he said.
Oh dear. Yeah, IT guys. I don't know.
I know, right? What's
I don't
up
have
with
that
that?
issue.
Not me either. But I use a
screen
Mac,
share.
so, Okay, so
you
Jen
can
says...
see my screen furry friend.
Yeah, Jen says, fun fact, the white pink in the background is her daughter's furry friend stuffed animal cat. Oh, okay, interesting. Interesting.
Okay.
So that's the photo we're going to talk about next, I think.
Absolutely. I'm going to pull her up right now.
There
can
we
see
go.
that?
Yes, we
Okay,
can
let's
see
make
it.
it full screen. That was not full screen.
That's zooming in. Hit slideshow.
Slideshow. Got it. Right here.
There you go.
Oh, that doesn't. Does that work for you guys? Because I've lost everything.
Oh, really?
Can you see it, though?
Oh, it probably went full screen.
It did. That's okay. I
No,
don't
you
need to
gotta-
see what's happening.
We just see you, though, so you're going to have to share a different.
Okay, so you just see me talking about a picture you can't
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, I mean, the background looks good. I appreciate that you've got the startings of your background going on there.
Okay, so it canceled my screen share
Oh,
as soon as I went full screen. Okay, that's
this will
fine.
work.
And it's full screen on your computers, right?
Mhm.
Okay, because I have my screen split so I can see what's happening. So I like this picture. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really understand what was happening when I first saw it posted because I didn't read the description or the comments. But I like everything that went into the shot. I like that we had someone participating. I like every part of it. I think it worked really well. I like the idea of going large to small.
Well, yeah, I know. I think there's a little backstory that needs to be explained.
Absolutely.
This is Savannah Newberry's photo that she set up 100%. Savannah is the 5-year-old daughter of Jennifer Newberry. And first of all, Savannah, thank you so much for submitting your photo to our photo challenge. You are the first person under the age of 10 to submit a photo, and you're only 5, and you did this all by yourself. So thank you. Awesome. Good on you. Keep it up. Keep submitting photos for the challenge and keep trying like you did. I give you a lot of credit. You took the time. You set up photos. You set up your dolls. I don't want to call them toys. I mean, they're your furry friends, right?
Action figures.
Gabriel's back. Yes, your action figures. Good on you for doing this. And I can see you put a lot of time into positioning each animal. Now, here's a thought. I'd like to see some interplay between the animals. I mean, these are your furry friends, right? They're all friends with each other. So I would suggest maybe if you try something again with your stuffed animals, you kind of create a story with them, working with each other instead of just standing side by side like, the family portrait we used to get. Yeah. Exactly, right?
I'm making hand gestures as if you can see me.
Gabe, do you want to kick in and do the screen share again, or are you good just doing this?
It's up to Phil.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm content.
We will keep on track. Now, exposure. It's exposed well.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you asked your mom to open the blind so you get more light. But I have one more suggestion. And this is hopefully a helpful tip for you, Savannah. The focus, if you zoom in all the way, looks a bit soft. And in a lot of cases, when that happens, it's because of motion blur, holding a camera instead of using a tripod. Now, I would love to hear from Jennifer if a tripod was used here. If so, I think maybe somebody was walking around the tripod, which caused just a bit of blur. The shutter speed I noticed was about 1/60th of a second. For myself, being a photographer that I've been taking a lot of pictures, I know for a fact I cannot handhold a camera with a shutter speed of 1/60th of a second and have a very sharp image.
Wow.
So that is my only, my other recommendation, other than a little bit of interplay. It would be to use a tripod. No tripod was used. Thanks, Jen. So if you had used a tripod, now a tripod would work perfectly fine for this composition, right? Because you set your camera up where you were holding it, you mount it to a tripod, and it takes away all of your personal shake, your breathing, your heartbeat, things like that. So if you were to set this up again and try again, if you want to, you don't have to. It's a great shot. Try it with a tripod and see if you can see a difference in the sharpness that you get.
Now, I will say that I think she is a step ahead. I think she's on the right track, especially because of this right here, that she started with the right camera.
A Canon. Exactly. Oh, Jenny Wolf has to go walk her furry friend. So thank you for watching so far, Jenny, and have a good walk. Excellent stuff. Yeah, no, it's Canon. Now you should notice that's a power shot, so you can see Savannah walking around with her little camera, arranging your dolls and asking for the window to be open to get more light. But one thing you got to remember, if you're using a tripod, the extra light isn't as necessary either.
Right.
Maybe not, but
The
I
right
do
light
like
is
the
necessary.
idea that she came up with the idea of adding more light in, came up with getting the natural light in, mixing it in with whatever was in the room, and accomplishing things with a point and shoot is awesome.
Yeah, and it's also one of the only photos that wasn't actually a living pet, like a cat or a dog. So it's kind of thinking outside the box, which I thought was cool. Gabe, anything to add?
Well, I was gone for part of it, so I don't know what was covered, but I'm sure I agree. It's with everything you said. It's very cute, well made,
And right, great for a 5-year-old.
Pop on to the next one here.
Cool.
You got to direct me where we're going.
Okay, so Sarah's photos that she submitted were photos that she has taken previously. So
Okay.
as much as we love them, and we do,
Especially this one with the tag.
especially the one with the tie, we're just not going to linger there. Gabriel posted his photo. What is this? Was it Furry Friends or Scaly Friends? It was Furry Friends. So we're going to move along. You're disqualified.
Yeah, that one reminds me of that song.
Yep. Bye. See ya. Okay, so next one would be Lori. So this is a rare occasion that I get to actually use a composition term, the golden ratio, or the Fibonacci sequence. I have to say that slowly because my mouth goes bleh. So you can see how there's like a spiral that starts at the shadow of the neck on the left side, goes up to the coloring of the head, down to the tip of the nose, follows the line of the mouth, back up to the eye. It's that nice little, exactly, Phil, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know how well that translated.
I saw it. Kind of cool. I love that. I love the composition. I love the looking off to the side. But Phil, you had another thought on that.
I personally, I like whenever I see something looking out of a frame, I like having that thing look into space. So I personally, I think, would prefer to see a picture like this in a bit more of a rectangle, where you would have pretty much where this is right here, a little bit more kind of space on this side. So instead of it just kind of cutting off here, maybe having a little bit of extra room so that the cat could be looking into something. However, there are times that an animal looking or a person looking out of a frame can work, and this is kind of on the border between what I like to see, because it's looking kind of down and out of the frame, where it's looking is not so much as important as it itself. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I personally like seeing things that have room to go, but I also like really unique crops. So I don't know. I'm stuck.
But it's a clean photo. I think
It
that's
is very
important.
clean.
Gabe, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say one thing with that is it depends on what's in that area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could assume it would be more white, but if it's, shot in a kitchen or something like that, maybe there's a big yellow fridge there.
Yeah, and that might not be nice.
Yeah.
But if it was
So
empty,
I can see your point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. It would be nice, good use of negative space and everything. Whoops. I'm just having technical difficulties, and I gotta plug my headphones in, otherwise they're gonna die.
So at this point, you can all go to www.pctantrums.com and hire Gabriel for all of your IT needs. Okay, so I think this was just a great shot. Now, I do have one suggestion as I'm trying to tonight and trying to give some tips. And Sheila, it's great that now she says, now I understand that, the spiral. It's neat when we see things that way. You know, every once in a while, it just kind of catches your eye that, oh, look, there's something going on more than the people would normally see here. And Sarah, yes, lizards are beautiful too. Yes, it was a great shot that Gabriel posted.
I know you can see this.
Thank you!
Actually, you know what? I could do a quick screen share here and show the spiral I'm talking
Probably
about.
safer than me just randomly going to. Oh, here we go. Perfect.
Yeah. So this is the golden ratio, and if you could see, oh jeez. Speaking of Donald Trump, get that off the screen.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, you are almost fired for that one.
It's Gabriel. He hacked in.
So when I was talking about, if you could pull the cat photo back up, Phil.
I have it back up.
Okay, beautiful. So you can see on my screen share, the neckline would go up here to the ears, to the nose of the mouth, up following the lip, and then round to the spiral. So that's kind of what I was seeing in the photo that Phil is showing. So cool. I love when little tips help out. Good. Okay, so back on to...
Actually, you pulling that up, it's actually amazing how well that actually fits into this picture.
It's true, isn't it?
But if you want to see some funny pictures, just like the Donald Trump one, that circle, the Renaissance kind of golden ratio, people overlay that into pictures, just completely random pictures, and sometimes it comes out hilariously. Like there's a fight in the, I think it's either Ukrainian or Italian parliament, and someone overlaid this into the picture, and it fits perfectly in what's happening. Completely unrelated to cats, but
totally unrelated, but very funny. Okay, so yeah, she says Sarah says her cat doesn't have fur.
That's okay.
So yeah, the photo, one of the photos she submitted was of her cat Kai, I believe, aka the chicken. Very cute. Sorry, I just pulled that up there. Okay, so let's move along to the next photo. This is Julie's photo. Julie, this is awesome. The diva. So perfect for the diva. What do you think there, Phil?
I like it. I personally have no idea how you pulled this one off. I would have either been eating the sunglasses or attacking me, or both at the same time. It seems to somehow be comfortable in like a scarf. I like the little bracelet thing you got going on. I like the glasses. I think it's a really fun picture.
You know what I just noticed? I never gave that tip that I was going to offer Lori.
Oh, should I go back?
For a quick second. I'm sorry. I know I squirrel all the time and forget what I was going to say, and
That's
don't
okay.
think that...
I didn't help. I brought up Trump.
I know, right? You totally squirreled.
I trumped your idea.
Ooh, zing. That was good. All right, so sorry. On Lori's photo, I just wanted to quickly say that a smaller aperture might have helped get focus. If you zoom into the eye, you notice that the focus is actually more on the cheek than the eye itself. And sometimes when you're taking these photos, it's sometimes a good benefit if you could close down the aperture a bit more. Now, she was shooting this at 200 millimeters, also at 5.6. Or, sorry, what was the aperture here? F3.5. So it's fairly open. It's not quite wide open. It's zoomed into 200 millimeter. Those two things are flattening that depth of field a little bit more. So my thought would be, even if you were to put it to 5.6, there'd be a little bit more focus pushed back to the eye, and that's just the extra 10% is all I'm talking about. Still, great photo, and we all had a lot of good things to say about it.
You know, the other thing is, I pull up the next picture. The other thing too is, and I'm sure a lot of people do it, and I'm not sure how you shoot, but maybe going from like a multi-point or an auto point to a single, or if you're on Canon, you can go to the super precise focus point way of shooting, will help get your focus exactly where you want, because it removes the guesswork that the camera does, because the camera is terrible at guessing. It's kind of like that one person who, when you play like trivia games, you don't want them on your team. That's your camera.
It's like, because they know that one of the answers in that game is The Simpsons. So every single time you just guess The Simpsons because eventually they'll be right.
Exactly. It's like, who's currently running for president? The Simpsons.
Oh,
And they're smart about it, too.
sorry, Julie. We are totally squirreling away from your photo one more time.
But I do like this picture. I think it's super cute. I like that the dog looks like it is completely relaxed, happy. It's got the tongue sticking out. It's just, it doesn't look like it cares. It looks like it wants to be on the bed. It wants to stay on the bed. What's happening?
Gabe's doing something.
Showing quickly, if people don't know what you mean by the
thank you.
focus point. So you can, a lot of cameras come sort of default having every single focus point selected, but you can select super fine or a little bit larger, and you can move it around manually, or you can select groups that you can move around or quadrants that you can move around. So if you don't know how to manually set the focus point on your camera, Google it or look it up in your manual, because I shoot on this setting here 99% of the time, and I either just focus drag or have gotten really efficient at just moving it around. And then with the Canons, if you just press into the middle, it resets it back to the middle.
Cool. Thanks for showing that.
Alternatively, you'll get our contact information at the end. And I know for me, if you have a question regarding your camera, you can always shoot me off a message, and I'd be more than happy to help you out, or post a question to the community here, and you'll probably get lots of answers.
Absolutely.
Most of them being correct.
And the rest of them being mine. But then we're going to
ignore what I post. Sometimes I squirrel a little bit.
Okay, so speaking of squirreling, Julie, love your photo. The diva absolutely makes sense. And I think the point Phil made earlier, how you don't know how you got the dog to sit here with all the stuff on it, is so valid.
It just looks so relaxed.
I was able to put Elvis glasses on my cat Angel one time, and a half a millisecond later they were gone. So made for the photo, and maybe that was the case here too. Maybe it was only for a quick second, but she looks so comfortable.
She does.
Little tongue really sticking out.
I know, right? It's so fun and whimsical.
Yeah, like oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, after you.
I was just gonna say, when I saw this, it seemed a little cluttered and a little like too much stuff in the background. And I realized that, that's exactly what a diva's place would look like.
Exactly.
They have their own style, and they share it loudly and proudly, and all the colors in the background work with the colors on the dog, and it's great.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, what else here? Focus was great. Exposure was excellent. I like the little catch lights in the glasses. Not too much, but there's a little bit of kick there. Yeah, beautiful stuff.
I really, really like that it's a fun picture.
I don't have any tips for this one. That's kind of the thing that I come away with. There's not anything I would really change.
Maybe a little vignetting.
Subject a little bit more.
Still nice, small little watermark in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, not intrusive. It looks like, it doesn't look like it's a full 1-to-1 crop.
It does look a little wider,
like a square 4:3 or something.
Yeah. So I would say, I always look at pictures for sharing with clients, but also Facebook, Google Plus, and Instagram. Now that Instagram, you don't have to do 1-to-1. You get a lot more creativity, but I always try and keep in mind how pictures are going to share. Less and less people are viewing things on their computer, how we used to format pictures, and more people are showing them on their phones. So you have to think about how things are going to view. Nobody wants to look at a picture and then rotate their phone. So this is good. Yeah, it's not 16:9 is kind of going the way of the dodo, and I think this would show up well on Instagram.
I agree. Oh, you made a point about
on Instagram really well too.
Gabe, you made a point about how things show up on cell phones and stuff. I think we should quickly mention something about Jennifer Newberry's website. We both tried to look at your website recently on our cell phones, and we can't see everything. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not mobile responsive, which means that the website itself doesn't change when it's brought up on mobile devices. and 60% of searches are done on mobile devices these days. 90% of local searches are done on mobile devices nowadays, and Google actually made a change on April 23rd, I think it was, that if your website is not mobile responsive, it won't even show up on mobile Google searches.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good thing for Google to do, because nothing's more annoying than being like, hey, I wonder where this address is I'm trying to find for this random place that I found, and being like, oh, their website's garbage.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, it's got a big flash, video in the beginning that takes 35 minutes to load and then crashes my browser.
It's kind of like my website. Too many photos.
There's a ton of options out there for building a website, and most of them are super easy and super convenient and will auto-convert mobile.
I don't want to get too much into the website. I think the website's beautiful. If I look at it on my computer, it's awesome. I just wanted to make a quick point that you might want to change some formatting around so people that do view it on their phones can see all of it, not just like one little square of it. That's all.
There might be an option depending on who's your website service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So look into that.
Look into it. Okay, cool. So let's move along to the next photo. Oh, wait. Jen says she'll have to look into that. Thanks. It looks okay on her phone, but she has to check her kids' tablets. Okay, cool. Yeah, it may not be on every phone, so I don't know. We're both. I'm an Android user. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I'm Android, but it did it on Android and my iPad.
Okay.
Oh dear God! I've just been gassed.
Oh.
Well, here's the next
Yet
picture.
another reason.
Oh my God. Sorry. Here we go again. Note to self: do not do shows in the same room as a litter box.
See, you always talk down about kids. At least kids, you only have to change their diapers for a couple of years. Cats, you got to do it for 18.
I've seen
to change your
videos
diapers.
online where
I just have
you
to
teach your
stay
cat to poop in the toilet. Like,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this photo.
I like this. I love this photo.
It's an okay picture.
It's an old photo.
Oh.
So
I like it with the grass in the front, creates a nice feeling of depth. The dog's looking out in the future like it's hopeful, it's golden hour, it's got great toning, but it's old, so it's disqualified. So thanks for submitting. I love it, but yeah.
Now, Maureen, the post that she made here, she says she thought she was a member because we accepted her request. Well, that is true. If we accept your request, you're in. And Maureen, you've been on many day trips, and you don't have to worry. Please post in anytime you'd like. It's awesome. We love the photo, but next time, just a photo taken for the challenge.
Yeah, and this goes for anyone. Like, if you're part of the Daytripper community on the Google Plus, post, show pictures, ask questions, do what you want to do. We're here for you, by you. I'm out of words.
Okay, that's fine because we can move along.
For
to
the
next
people, by the people.
Yes, exactly.
of the people.
One
We're
world.
almost like cannibals. All right, let's move along.
Photo under the flying spaghetti monster.
Now, I do want to comment on this picture, because I do like this picture, and I do like the fact that, he's looking out over here, and it's golden hour, but this space up here I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, just a slight crop on the top.
Just to bring it into this bar and basically cut along the top of the fence, and I know that could screw with the composition a little bit, because, you're going to get rid of a little bit of the dog over here, that kind of stuff, but...
Unless you go 16:9.
The bigger picture. Anyway, let's go to this picture. I'm trying to remember what that old show on CBC was. It was 16:9, wasn't it?
SCTV? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, on the CBC, it was their version of Marketplace. Anyway, this is we'll save that for a different episode.
Oh, we are going all over the place. Okay, so this is Mark Flinder's photo.
I like this picture.
This is his puppy Freya.
Very cute.
Beautiful little dog, and I got to give Mark a lot of credit for filling the frame.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice close crop, fill the frame. Beautiful, beautiful, all that awesomeness. Well done. And also the way you use lighting here. The light is on the face only. Not on behind the back side of the head or the body of the dog, so it really draws your focus to Freya sleeping, and just it's a very
the abrupt cutoff of the shadow is a little distracting
obvious
to me. Yeah. Now that could just be there was a window and that's where the window ended, right? I'd say if this was a studio shot, I'd like to see it a little bit softer, but Yeah, I mean, that's, you really have to look at the photo for a while to notice that, and then once you notice it, it bugs me, but, I had to look at it for a while and really sort of analyze it.
Yeah, I didn't even really think of it as a point like that, but you're right. All right, great texture, very soft, good exposure. The eyes are exactly what's in focus. And, yeah, I've got no improvement tips. Do you guys?
Not really. I like it. I'm now realizing I think more people own a brown suede couch than I originally thought.
I know.
Both you and Jennifer do very have the same couch, it looks like.
Sheila,
have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
Ooh, maybe they are the same person. That is so funny. Mark asks the question here. Mark says, cut off shadow? What do you mean by that?
That could also just be a change of fur color, because this looks like a different color fur, and then this is a different color fur. So it could actually be that it's just a fur line.
Funky fur line.
Funky fur line.
Is that what you meant by cut off shadow in that area?
Yeah, just that line. Whoa.
What are you doing?
I have no idea. Focus is really good on the... I don't know how I did this. Why can I zoom in so much with your picture, but no with everyone else's?
I know, I was trying to zoom in earlier. I couldn't zoom in.
So much zooming. Look at this.
Wow.
And you get the
because he uploaded a beautiful high-resolution image. I love the fact
Pull it back, boys. Pull it back.
We're back.
Yeah, so when he was showing there, the line, I'm not screen sharing, so me moving my mouse over the shadow is completely redundant. But, yeah, that line there was just what I was commenting on.
And that looking at it now, that could totally just be a fur line, because it's like maybe a fur line straight into darker fur here.
Yeah, it could be.
And going off actually what he's saying right now is that's what it is. There's no shadow. The flash is bounced off the ceiling, so it should be a flat layer of light.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All my animals are dead, so sometimes, I forget.
I don't know where to go with you.
I know, right? It's horrible.
I just kept on doing that to Brian the whole day the other day, and every single time he's like spraying coffee out his nose.
Sheila just has a question. She'd like to hear what we think about watermarks in general, necessary or not. Actually, before everybody jumps on this, I just want to say I am in talks with the Canadian the Canadian Intellectual Property Office to have one of their representatives on our show to have a proper discussion about watermarking and copyright. And but until we get to that, I don't want to get too deep into it because everybody has their own personal beliefs on watermarks, and this isn't necessarily the show to get into that too much.
And to be fair, if someone's going to steal your picture, they're going to do it anyway. People people used to steal pictures off of Flash websites. So terrible quality pictures, and like print them and stick them on their wall because they didn't want to pay you for them. So if there's a watermark, people aren't really going to do anything. Now the Canadian Copyright Board, I think, just posted something, or Petapixel, or one of those websites posted something about every Canadian photographer owning the rights to their picture now.
Yay! Henry's actually it's funny. They just posted this today saying, "Yay! Finally, Canadians own the rights." Okay, that was in 2012.
2012.
Okay,
that was 3 years
behind.
Yeah. Anywho,
but we'll follow this up with another conversation on a different show because it's actually a very important topic.
I agree.
Yeah.
However, we are very quickly running out of time.
Well, and I just say on that topic, most of the information that you hear is about American copyright on podcasts and things like that. So it'd be good to get a true informed Canadian perspective.
Exactly. And I've emailed them and asked them hopefully for the 17th, which is our next Tips and Techniques show. If not, plans are in place for our next photo challenge, which you're going to give anyway tonight. So, Julie says, sorry for the delay in my response. My photo of Roxy took a lot of patience as she kept trying to jump down. 20-odd shots later, I finally got her to relax and I got my pose. Roxy also knows a reward will come after her pose. Well done, Julie.
Nice.
That's awesome. Good effort. That's what you got to do, especially when we're taking these. I mean, it looks so natural. It's when you do it right and you take the time and you keep on attempting it that you get the shot that you're really looking for. So credit.
Eventually, your subject just gives up and lets you do what you want.
As soon as you break their will to live. Sorry about that.
So, taking a look at this picture.
Yes.
We had a lot. We were talking about this picture a bunch before we actually started. It's an interesting picture, but it has some ups and it has some downs.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a bit confused on this one. It's very mysterious and it's brooding, but then you look at it a little closer and you realize it's not really sharp anywhere. Now, I'm wondering if that's a processing technique that Mark was working on, like a feathering kind of effect or something.
Like clarity or something, yeah.
Right, yeah. It's hard to say, and it almost doesn't work for my tastes.
Because it's a big enough resolution picture that it should be sharp. And I can zoom into it a bunch.
I could Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I can zoom into it by accident.
I can handle everything being blurry the way that it is if the eyes were sharp.
Yeah. I think that's part of it too. Like there's some creative license you can have with focus, and ultimately to tell the story, it doesn't always have to be in focus. So there's a lot of forgiveness that could be made for focus and sharpness. But I would think for that extra 10%, if it did have, like Gabriel suggesting, the eyes in focus, it would be that extra 10% that would be impressive. Now here's my tip, and I do have a tip for this. If we look at the EXIF information, providing that this is not shot on a tripod, it's explained why it's not sharp.
I was going to say, there could be a little bit of handshake.
This is it. So here's my little tip here. This was shot at 1/400th of a second at 300 millimeters, shot on a Nikon D7100, which is a cropped sensor camera. So technically, that would be a 450 millimeter focal length. That would be the 1.5 crop added to 300 mil. If you were to get a sharp photo, in my teaching, I basically say multiply your focal length by 3 if you're hand holding a photo of a moving subject. Now, it may not be running around, but it's alive and it breathes, so it's still technically moving. If you do the math, that would equal to about a 14/50th of a second, where generally on your camera setting it would be about a 1600th of a second shutter speed is what you would need to shoot this photo and expect sharpness.
And if we don't want to go through that much, like, thinking about things, the general rule of thumb should be your shutter speed should be at least as fast as a millimeter of your lens. So if this was a 450 mil lens, then you should at least have 450th of a second.
For something static.
Exactly.
Like a lamppost.
Exactly. So it'd be kind of hard to get that organized. And I remember back when I switched to Canon, I switched from a Nikon D300 to a 5D Mark II. It has a point, don't worry, I'm getting to it. And when I switched to a camera that was a lot heavier than I was used to. And what I used to be able to handhold got completely thrown out the window. And the first giant chunk of pictures, probably at least the first maybe 200 shots I tried to do in a low light situation, all came out completely garbage. Because I had to get completely used to the new style of shooting. So it can be a little bit of practice, and it's a good thing to practice. So I would actually recommend everyone to try it. Slow your shutter speed down. See what you can handhold at.
Yeah.
Get practice with your lenses so that when you're in a situation where you want to get that shot, you don't have an issue doing it.
Yeah, that's a great tip. Mark had a comment he's written here. I'll read that in a second. But to further on my point, if you shot this, if you look at the ISO on this, is 320. For me, I could shoot the D7100 at 1600 ISO and be satisfied with results. If you were to do that, the shutter speed would have been around the 1200th of a second mark. It would have been much closer. So it's something that you could have done. Now, Mark says that he shot this through a fence. Cleaning up the light and dark bars was a tricky edit. I believe that. I totally get that. And the mood is very, like I said, it's very a brooding kind of photo. So the mood is there. But I think that extra 10% is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I do agree shooting through a fence can be hard because that'll soften the picture a little bit.
Absolutely.
And so there's a lot of things that were working against you and a lot of things that were working for you. And I think you came out with a great shot, but we can kind of all kind of learn from it and produce. I don't know. I don't want to say sharper results.
Well, no, I mean, ultimately it comes down to what you like, right?
Exactly.
If you make this photo and you think this is a beautiful photo, it's nice how the bar is separating the two eyes, so you do have brightness on both eyes, and the mouth is nice and bright. The fur, the mane in the back has some nice light highlights to it. The texture is really nice there. But to go back to Gabriel's point, if the eyes had sharpness, it would have been that extra 10% better. And I think that's the major point that I want to take away from this.
Yeah, and ISO is your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You can reduce noise, you can't reduce blur.
There you go. Okay, so we've got 2 more photos to go through. Christine and Catherine. Catherine submitted just recently, actually, so it was really cool that you did that.
Oh, nice.
So here's
Christine.
Christine.
Page. Is it up?
Yep, it's up.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is Christine's photo. This is Crisper, her cat Crisper. Cute, cute photo. And Phil, I hear that you were assisting Christine a little bit with this.
Unofficially. So I like this picture because
What does that mean, unofficially?
I was outside of the.
No, don't tell the world. That wasn't really helping. Sorry, what were you saying?
So I like this picture, especially because she was trying to shoot something that she hadn't, as far as I know, tried a lot before, and that was, a new flash off camera, making it a shot that I don't know if she's tried, and so she had a few technical hurdles to kind of overcome as she was shooting this picture, and I was doing what I could to answer them, but I do want to make a slight aside and say thank you to Lynn from the Oshawa Henry store. She actually, I believe, assisted a little bit as well, and is probably, if you're out in the Oshawa area, probably the best person to go talk to there. Anyway, I like this picture because it was a shot different than what might have been tried before, with a technique different than what had been tried before. So it was a lot of learning, a lot of experimenting.
That's the best thing that we can expect from these challenges. That is exactly what we hope for somebody to go outside their comfort zone and try something different. And actually, that was one of my comments. Is I think it's a nice use of off-camera flash. Yeah, I've done this quite a bit with my cats in the past. Angel, I couldn't do it too much with because she'd have seizures with too much flash. But with Dixie, it's awesome. I can take a flash and set it off to the distance and draw her attention elsewhere and use it for backlight or front light. And the fact that you use this one here, it really gave you the sharpness we're talking about. If you zoom into the cat's eyes, that eyeball is transparent and clear and sharp, and you can see all the detail in the eye behind it. And I think that is not easy in any way, shape, or form to get. Can you hit photo details, please?
I definitely can. Boop.
So you see this was shot at f2.5 with a 1.4 aperture lens. ISO is very low, so the detail is excellent. I know some people don't like going to EXIF all the time, but this is just a case that you got your focus exactly where it should be, where it really should be.
Yeah, it seems like I mean, for on a 50 milliliter, yeah, it's a small camera, 50 milliliter, 50 millimeter lens, 1.4.
It's shot at 2.5
Oh, there. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I was looking at the top.
No worries. I noticed we were getting off a little bit, but even still,
that kind of increases the depth of field a little bit more, so you get the nose and the eye.
And you're also not right on top of Crisper either. You're not like right in its face, where that perspective decreases depth of field as well. So good choices made, and Christine says yes, Lynn was amazing. So it's good. I love when people realize the value a professional seller has in their world of photography. So
and
many
listen to the advice.
Yeah, exactly, right? So many people really don't, and I'll just buy it off of Amazon and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, fine, good for you. Buy it off of Amazon, support the American economy. Whatever.
Well, it's also 30% more right now.
Yeah, well.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me as I'm going to Vegas next week.
Yes.
You're welcome. Maybe you can win it back.
Yeah, we're supposed to feel sorry for you when you're going to Vegas next week.
Yeah, when it's warm weather.
And Mark Moore, actually, he chimed in earlier. He says, yes, absolutely, don't fear the ISO. I agree with that. Thank you, Mark, for accepting that. It's cool. Okay, so I'm dying in
One
here.
more.
Wow.
It's like that 80s song, Don't Fear the ISO. Anyway, sorry, that was bad.
For that 80s song. Didn't Jay Giles' band do that song?
I have no idea.
They did,
So which one's next? We have
every other
Dixie.
Catherine.
photography song possible.
This one?
Yes, and Jenny, sorry, the canine photo,
that's
beautiful,
cute.
beautiful shot, but again,
up
it
for a
was an older
second.
photo. Yeah, it was. I mean, beautiful dog.
Yeah.
I've
Slow
been a
shutter
bit weird
speed,
dogs like that.
sharp dog.
I was saying it looks like a
Sphinx.
canine sphinx.
Yeah, it does look like a canine sphinx. Okay, so this is Catherine's shot, the Nuggles and Rocky. So cute. Now, for me, I mean, it's the story here. Catching a moment like this is priceless, and this is my extra 10% in this photo. Any critique we could give would pale to the emotional impact that this is making on a viewer. There's genuine affection between these guys, and you cannot create that. So I love the fact that they're so comfortable together, and that to me makes it a really great photo. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I just like the fact that every single time I see a picture of a dog and a cat together, I just get reminded of Ghostbusters. When he's trying to explain to the mayor about, biblical prophecies coming true, dogs and cats living together. He's just going off. No? Did my video freeze?
I'm gonna.
Hello? That's okay. I'm going to bring this picture back up. So it's a good picture. I can hear you, Brian. You're cutting out a little bit. How does this happen? Technology. Has it gone too far?
But perfect.
Nothing. I got nothing. Sounds like a bad DJ. I don't know who sounds like a bad. Hopefully it's not me. So taking a look at this picture here, I like it. I like the fact that you have that emotion to it. I like the fact that you have, the cat and the dog, which is kind of a juxtaposition. I'm not a giant fan of that kind of floor being the background. However, I know in a shot like this, there's not much we can do to get around that. But I do like that you shot it to completely just isolate on the two subjects and to get rid of everything else in the shot. I think that worked really, really well. Now, I think that is all of the pictures that we have for this evening. I'm not sure if everyone can still see my screen here. I'm going to pull a picture of a Dixie. I'm just sorry. I'm just going to read the comments, everyone. Just take a look at what's happening. Okay. I can, Brian, just to comment on you there. So I do like the I do like the shot too, but I do want to thank everyone that posted their pictures for the furry friends or furry family this week, as some of our furry friends, I guess, are our furry family. I didn't get a picture this week, but thankfully I had mine kind of join me. I'm just scrolling through slowly, taking a look at all of our shots from this week. I don't know if everyone's coming back, but I'm going to join back in here. Just bear with me for a quick second. I'm going to cut my screen share, and I'm back. So that brings us close to the end of the show for this evening. And I know we've run a little bit long. We had a little bit of a technical issue. Are you guys back?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Oh, good.
Hey,
did we
back
all
on
get-
track.
Were we all out?
Phil was the only one still going as far as I saw.
Okay,
wow.
so I repeated many nice things about the pictures. But I think it comes down to who do we say, and in this, I don't know. How do we pick who had the best?
I know, it's tough. First, let's take a quick second, since everybody can hear us now. Can you hear us now?
I think so. I can hear you now.
You can hear me
I actually
fine?
have both of you on the same screen, which is nice.
Awesome, cool. Okay, so let's just go through the Q&A quickly. Christine says, all by myself. Gabe was in here alone for a little while,
Okay.
apparently. And then
Phil
it was
show.
the Phil show, Jen says. Looks like Gabe is the only non-frozen one on the show, so I think hopefully we're all back now. Jerry says he hears the ping pong music, which was interesting.
That actually might be something internal, and you might want to get that checked out medically or psychologically.
Christine said it sounded like a bad DJ. Interesting audio from Sheila. Phil is clear. Of course Phil's clear. Look at you. You're awesome. Now I know what you all sound like as toy pianos. That's great. And okay, so Sheila made a comment earlier. She says that's what I find missing in so many of my photos: the emotional piece. And sometimes you just can't plan it. You know, sometimes it's right place, right time. But to create that emotional piece on a consistent basis, that's the challenge that I think we all have.
And I would like to say that the emotional piece is also completely subjective. Some people might find emotion in one picture. You could find someone who looks at a picture of a landscape, and for some reason it connects with them in some way that they have like an attachment to it, that it gives them the feeling of happiness or the feeling of sadness. And other times it takes a visual cue to actually give that emotional kind of bump over the edge. So it can be a very challenging thing to get in a picture.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And we all get into that problem, that's for sure. Okay, so there's two things we want to talk about. First, the winner of today's photo challenge, and second, three things actually. Second, the next photo challenge, which we're going to announce in just a second. And lastly, we're going to give a new photo project that we're going to ask people to work on. We're going to call it the Bigger Picture Project. So the Bigger Picture Project we'll talk about first. Create a photo series, post them together. So if you've taken 5 or 6 photos in this series, share them as an album. The community is going to be giving feedback, and then we're going to continue to monitor these results every week. So we're going to give a quick little, hey, how's it going with your photo challenges every week on the show? Very quickly, just to give a heads up. Now, this isn't a prize challenge. This isn't anything like that. This is just something that we're offering out to our viewers to help you work on something as a continuing basis. I know I've got a few photo projects I've been working on that I really want to get shot, and maybe I'll do the Bigger Picture Project myself. And this is for somebody who wants a little bit more of a challenge, somebody who wants to work toward a bigger goal. And the challenge theme is up to you. We're going to hopefully give you some inspiration during the show, and if something touches you and you want to build a whole series around that, then that's your theme. So there's really no guidelines, there's no rules. We just want to see you guys come up with something, a coherent project, and share that with us. Something to work toward. That was the first thing. Also, remember, the winner of this week's challenge is going to earn points toward the final thing, which is a prize of up to $350 toward a day trip in the future with Daytripper Photo, and a couple other prizes that we're going to be working out as time goes on. And one very last thing we're going to talk about is the upcoming challenge, which we're going to give you now, and that challenge coming this next 3 weeks will be sharp. That is your photo challenge. Make it sharp.
Cool.
We talked about sharpness in photos. It could be attack. It could be a pin. It could be quick wit. It can be whatever you consider sharp to be, and that's what I'm hoping to see. So interpret it as you will. The photo challenge coming up is sharp. All right. And by the way, next tips and techniques show, unless I can get the CIPO representative on our show to talk about watermarks and copyright will be how to achieve sharpness in your photo. Talking about all the different tips and toys you can do, including Gabriel brought up some really good advice about, maybe even focus stacking and hyperfocal distance and things like that. So we're going to have a really great show. Christine says she loves the theme idea. Had an idea, tried a few months ago, which didn't work out, so hopefully attempt number 2. Fantastic. Great. People are already inspired. That's what I love to hear. So let's talk about our winners for this week's photo challenge. And there's going to be top 3 winners and 2 honorable mentions we've picked this week. And the first winner, let's talk about our honorable mentions first, okay? What about that, guys? Honorable mention,
like that idea.
Number 1, Phil, do you want to do the screen share, or Gabe?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh, awesome. We can't do it.
Gabe's got it. So, as soon as we start the screen share, we will start the drum roll and give our first honorable mention prize, which is 1 point that gets on the winner's wall. And the winner of the first honorable mention is Dixie. No. Is...
Guys!
Not that guy.
Surprise!
But while you have it open right there, Lori Cloutier's photo of the cat right there. Ember. There you are.
Yay!
Lori, congratulations. That's honorable mention prize. And the second honorable mention photo this week is our youngest submitter of all time. This is going to go to Savannah Newberry. Well done on your photo that you've submitted for our photo challenge. This is going to give you 1 point on the winner's wall. Congratulations, Savannah. Well done.
And remember, you're never too young to have your mommy sign you up for a day trip.
Hint, hint, hint. All right, cool. Let's go into our third place winner of the week. And the third place prize this week, which is going to garner some points, and I don't remember exactly how many. I think it's 2, 4, and 6. So Mark Flinders. Oh, I did that backwards.
Over.
Mark Flinders' photo of Freya. The nice close crop is what won us over.
There we go.
There we are. Good job,
Very
Mark. So Mark won for third place. Second place this week is going to go to Jen Newberry's photo of Toby the cat. There it is. That close proximity and sharpness on the eye, I think, is what clinched this one here. And the first place winner of the week goes to Dixie. No, not Dixie. The Diva photo from Julie. Beautiful, great idea. There you go. So thank you, everybody who submitted photos for our photo challenge this week. It was a lot of fun. Furry Friends, I think it connected with a lot of people because we got a lot of submissions. It was very cool. Mm-hmm. And we only ran a half
over. Favorite types of submissions. A lot of.
Yeah, what he said. Okay, so don't forget, the next photo challenge coming up will be Sharp. Don't forget the Bigger Picture Project, which we're going to make a post about shortly. If I remember to do it tonight, fantastic. If I don't, I'll do it after tonight. And, yeah, that's about it. That's it for us tonight, guys. Good show. Thank you, Phil and Gabe. Great conversation on everybody's photos. Thank you, everybody who was watching tonight. We're only about a half hour late, which I think is a record for a review show. Catherine says the Rocky and Nuggles shot were not a posed shot, just a grab off the counter and snap. That's great. The only thing I could have done differently on that was maybe a lower perspective. I thought about this after the fact. Shoot from a lower angle might have been a little different. It wouldn't have looked like a quick snap.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had the second eye on the cat, though. It would look like the cat was sleeping or something.
Yeah,
Good
and you
point.
might have had stuff in the background where having nothing in the background might have worked better.
Yeah, well,
We could go back and forth.
It was fun, and the emotion, I think, is what sold that photo. So that was just a great shot. Jennifer Newberry says that her daughter Savannah is going to be so happy. That's great. She's probably past her bedtime by now. And woohoo! Congratulations to you, Jen. Congratulations from Christine. Great submissions all. Yay, Dixie. I know, right? And bravo from Sheila. Good job, everybody. Thank you all for submitting or for talking to us through the Q&A. Made it a lot of fun. And my throat's really sore because I've been talking too much. So I'm going to say goodnight. You guys, anything else to add? Anything else you want to share before we say goodnight?
Right now?
Don't forget to submit your photo contest for Navi Noom's Wedding Photography Challenge.
Follow her on Instagram. Even if you don't submit, even if you don't have a wedding coming up or you don't know anybody that's coming up, follow her on Instagram. She's got a great feed.
Yeah.
Her sense of humor is freaking brilliant. That's why we wanted her on the show for so long. She's just a witty, funny person who takes great photos, and support her any way we can. Just like you, Gabe. Very much like you. You guys work well together that way.
She's better than I am. Her handle is Optimus Fox on Instagram. OPTIMUSFOX on Instagram. So follow that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Bousquet Photography. And really, I mean, if you're not on Instagram, if you're a photographer and you're not on Instagram, for shame.
Shame, eh?
It's really I think it's probably my favorite social media out there right now.
It's fun because it's quick. You know, you can get your shots out there quickly, and you know, it's no stress about making huge posts. You can tag them so lots of people see them.
Yeah, and there's no politics on it. It is the one social media that's actually specifically designed only for photography. You know, and everybody that I know, every podcast, every photographer that I talk to, you know, it's been out for a while, but they're just falling in love with it.
I have an Instagram. It's Mr_Snaps71. That's me personally, and of course you can check out Daytripper Photo Instagram as well. We are starting to put more posts for the Daytripper Photo Instagram. It's a fairly new thing for us, but they'll trickle out there.
That's great, yeah.
I've been up there for a while. I post a lot of my wrestling stuff and crazy cat pictures, you know, that kind of stuff. Phil, you have Instagram?
I do. You can follow me on Instagram at Financial Phil.
Oh, Financial Phil. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. We're going to say goodnight now, everybody, and I hope you all have a great week. Next week, we come back with our next episode, which is going to be something other than a photo review. In fact, it's probably going to be something very much, as I pull up the notes, like the Tips and Techniques show, yes, on Sharp. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Cool. I won't be here next show, and I may not be here the show after. Next week I'll be in Vegas, and the week after I will have just returned from Vegas, so maybe in a slight Vegas coma, but I will keep you updated.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So yes, Tips and Techniques, and then the banter show after that. Be a lot of fun. Keep on watching, guys. Keep on clicking like and subscribing and sharing to the world. Enjoy the community. Okay, good night. Bye.
Yeah.